hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Music Podcast. Today is going to be a little bit fun. Last week was a little bit heavy, or rather, Friday was a little bit heavy, and I kind of want to lighten it up and talk about another personal experience of mine as it regards my relationship, or rather, my existence with Michael Jackson as a very pivotal and prominent figure in my life growing up and just in general. So I hope that you enjoy this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. And obviously, as always, I will thank you on your way out. And I hope that you enjoy. Thank you.
Music.
Today, I want to lighten it up a little bit, and this story time will be about something that I'm not ashamed of it or embarrassed or anything like that, but it was a weird time. It was a weird time. So, obviously having grown up according to my parents being completely out of my mind in love with Michael Jackson and just his presence and his music and just completely, I guess, being obsessed in some ways. Side note, I say that, but I don't do posters. Like, I didn't have any posters up in my room. I started doing it when I was in middle school because I thought that's what I was supposed to do and put up posters of like bands and stuff. But I am not fond of having posters in my room. It's weird, and I might explain it to you in another story time. But no, I didn't have posters of Michael Jackson in my room. But I did like find old magazines that my dad and I think maybe my dad's sister, my aunt had, and I loved looking at pictures and everything. But more, the thing that I loved watching most, at least at an early age, were the music videos, of course, or the short films, as ancestor Michael called them, and none more prominent. No short film of his gave me more anxiety and more excitement and more happiness and more fear than the Thriller video. Surprise, surprise. It was created like an actual horror movie, so it was meant to both entertain and in some ways frighten you. And the transformation scene scared me mainly because I don't like being chased. So the entire short film, in some way, characters are being chased. But I loved the video, and as I get older, I continue to adore the technicality of it and just the brilliance of it. Also considering the time period in which it was made, where a music video was more an advertisement than an actual means of expression or another medium for music to be sent out to the world. And obviously, a big thing that made Michael Jackson's short films so incredible, beyond just the quality of them, especially earlier on, I think, in terms of just his vision and the vision of the people that he works with, honestly. The biggest thing that always caught my eye was the choreography. My brother is the dancer. I can dance just as much as I think anybody can dance, do a little 1-2 or whatever. But my brother is an actual dancer, and I think he'd always just sort of been that way, and obviously was extremely heavily influenced by Michael Jackson. And the Thriller video has, I think, the single most iconic dance scene in any music video. And my brother and I knew that choreography backwards and forwards. And so what ended up happening is, and I don't know when it first happened, but we started telling people that we knew the Thriller dance. Like, we started informing people of this. Or either it was me informing people, it was probably me, because my brother is not extra. And when I was younger, I was kind of extra. But I used to tell people, yeah, I know the Thriller dance backwards and forwards. In fact, me and my brother, we know the dance perfectly, from the expressions to the details in terms of the movement. It wasn't just, oh, these are the moves and we're going to do them. No, we know the intricacies, ins and outs of this choreography. And people would say, okay, show us. So there was a time period, I want to say from between, oh my gosh, I was still obviously in elementary school, so it's got to be between the ages of maybe 9 and 13. Like it was a sizable chunk of time where on demand, if it wasn't me and my brother, and often we did end up in the same elementary school, so it could have just been in that time period where we were at the same school, and on demand, we would do the dance. No music. In fact, well, what I would do is I would lead up to the dance with the Vincent Price rap that he does right before the iconic choreography scene. And then I would make like the little sound, the little horror movie sound that lets you know that something bad is about to happen, that comes right before you see that Michael has turned into a zombie. I would make that sound and then do the pan out sound effect, and then we would just go into it, and like eyes wide, the way that Michael told the dancers to do it. Michael Jackson and Michael Peters, in fact, told them to really personify and embody what it meant to be the living dead. And if the living dead sort of had a calling card, it became, like I said in the episode last Friday, that Michael Jackson had been kind of a meme before it was a thing. This because he just started a lot of things, and in hindsight it could seem a little bit silly, but the dance has become so iconic and it's become memeified, and even the moments leading up to it have become memeified, particularly when the reveal happens for the first time. But yeah, there was a period of about 4 or 5 years, where I would, me and my brother mostly, but sometimes it would just be me, and I had no shame whatsoever. I was not embarrassed about it. I was, in fact, excited to show people that I was so dedicated to Michael Jackson and so deeply involved in the music video that was both my source of fear and my greatest source of entertainment. I would just revel in the fact that I knew the dance and I knew it so intricately that, if I were a dancer, I would make Michael proud. Like, I think even subconsciously, that was kind of what my mindset was when I was younger. I need to do this right because I don't want to disrespect the genius of Michael Jackson and Michael Peters. Like, I would never want to disavow Michael Peters for the brilliance of his choreography, and of course Michael Jackson's for his overall brilliance and genius. And I wanted to sort of pay my homage, if you will, to the video, and would just break out into the dance, and I mean every single second of it. And this was usually when we were waiting for our mom to pick us up. And so yeah, and we would usually be in a long hallway. It was usually teachers, which was funny. They got a kick out of watching two kids do the Thriller dance. But it wasn't in a way that was funny. Like, they could tell we were actually serious about it, and I think particularly I was serious about it. But yeah, that is the story of me being an elementary school Thriller enthusiast and just breaking out into dance whenever the occasion would arise. And I'd be like, hey, so you want to see something cool? I know the whole Thriller dance. And, like, it's so nerdy saying it now. Like, that is some, like, convention level nerdiness, if you really think about it. And they even have whole zombie days, where the Thriller dance is just part of the day. I think there is an actual zombie convention, and the Thriller dance is just part of it. Because of course it is, because Thriller has become part of zombie canon. So it's that level of nerdiness, but I would do it. and would not be ashamed and would be excited and, in fact, suggest that I show people this quote unquote talent of mine. So, yeah. Thanks for listening to me talk about the absolute depths of my nerdiness. I am so sure that I'm not the only Michael Jackson fan that has a story like this. So, seek people out like that. They probably have very successful careers as dancers. Not I. But, I'm one half of a whole, so one of us has a career in dancing. Anyway, I hope that you have a pleasant day, that it's a great start to your weekend, because Thursday is my favorite day of the week. I don't know about you. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace across.